Is a Voyager GPS system. It comes with the computer, head temperature. This is power, so it charges off the battery, and it has internal power. This is for the tack, handlebar mounts, wheel sensor for speed, and this nifty little USB drive to take the little card, the micro SD card, out to download your maps and all that good stuff. So what's going on is a 2005 Honda 400EX. Okay, first pain was putting this mount on. You got a little tiny nut that sits back there and a 3mm Allen head screw. Well, once you get it, this is for the 7/8 bars. It also comes with an 1 1/8 mount. Gotta sit on, and it'll sit just like that. Pretty clean look, though. Of course, they sell an extra add-on protector for another $89, but I figured if I put this on first, and that way I can run all my wires down through. It seems to be out of the way, easily visible. Okay, finish that off. Okay, note to self. This bolt and this bolt are two different sizes. This is the big one on top, the small one on the bottom. Once you put the big one in, you can adjust this and this one because they're two different sizes. And I also run the throttle cable on the outside just in case. But if you do that right the first time, you don't have to do it twice. But who reads instructions, right? So okay, so now we should get all the wires to go right down through. Probably that harness there. Nice clean look. That sits right in the center of the bars. Looks decent. Okay, start wired. Okay, your tack, ignition, the wire that comes with it, I got it routed up through here, and plugs right in. Give yourself plenty of room so that when you're moving the bars, nothing's going to bind, but not too much. Now, it comes really long, and in the instructions it says that you can cut it back, so that's what I did. But be careful, because you need quite a bit of this red, and then when you strip it back, just don't cut into the red wire. I'm going to wrap some electrical tape around it. I was going to put it here, but according to the instructions, it said put it on this insulator here. So that's in. Clean it up a little bit, wrap it in electrical tape, and then I'll get it into this little wiring harness here. It's kind of zip tie type thing, so it's out of the way. It's not going to get up against the oil cooler or any of that good stuff, and it should be fine. Okay. Okay, this is your head temperature sensor. It's going to go on your plug, just like that, and in the hole. Now try to face it back like this, because you don't have room. If you got a 400, you know how tight that is in there. So run it towards the back like that, and just be real easy with it. It'll go, but it's not real smooth. Notice how nice my jetting is. Curtis Sparks full exhaust will be one of the projects coming up. Okay, let's see if I can get this thing in here. I got valve timing to do, so I'm just going to put it in and see if it runs, and then I'll end up tearing, because I got to change this gasket and readjust the valves anyways for this year. Temperature sensor. Okay, now if you have a 400, you know what a pain it is to get the plug out, even with the wrench that comes with it. So trying to get that sensor on there, down in there. So I took the tank off. It's easier to do, and actually I'm going to call Trail Tech and see if you can undo, if they could put it right there, which holds the jug to the base. You have to retorque it, but then you're not going to have a problem getting the plug out when you want to change a plug, because that's going to be a pain. So I'm going to call them, see if they can, and then I'll let you know before I post the video to YouTube. But I mean, it's good and tight in there. Got it routed up nice, just the right amount. A line cable that goes through, and these are all, you can't screw them up, they only fit one way. So next I'm going to run power from the battery through to it, and then you got to tear the front wheel apart to put the speed sensor on. So I'm going to get everything else done, and then the speed sensor will be the last thing. Okay, got the power hooked up. 2 lines run up through. Thing comes over here. Let's zip tie all this back together. Nice. And that up through there. And the unit powers up. And she's charging. Now it charges off the battery, and it has an internal power supply too. So once it's fully charged, and then it goes to sleep, so it's not gonna constantly run off your battery. Okay, now the first thing we got to do is install this, which is the magnet, which goes. I left the sensor down there. Sensor goes on here. Magnet goes into one of our rotor bolts. So it says you have to take the caliper and the rotor off, but there's enough room to get in through here, so you don't have to do that. I loosened it up so that you can see, and now the new one fits right in. Same thread pattern. Let's see if I can get on. That one comes off, and then that one just goes right in, just like that. So I'm going to tighten it up, and we'll go from there. Okay, my bad. Again, not reading instructions, just looking at pictures. You do have to take the rotor off, because this is the sensor. Oops, come here. That goes on, and it loops right through, looks real good, nice and clean, and it runs right next to your brake lines. I'm going to zip tie it all up through there, but you have to mount it right here, and it comes in the kit. You have to drill an 1/8" pilot hole, and a self-tapper goes in there, but you don't have room to get to it with this in your way. So you just pop that off, but I just changed brakes, so I never seized the bolts, so it was no big deal to get off. So I'm going to drill that hole and pop a hole right in there and put that on. See, I got clearance issues here, but a little extra fabricating. Okay, got that. Had to move that back a little bit. Clearance issue there. Yeah, it reads, but you also, we'll get into that in a little bit. You have to set your wheel diameter in the computer to get it to calibrate it, to get the right setup. So where's this? This should go. I'm going to have to do something with that. No. Okay, that's got to be trimmed out so that I can get the okay, that's about it for the install. Nice and clean up through there. Everything's going to get zip tied up through. And all that up around where it's supposed to be. Pull up through, and I think we're going to have plenty of extra cable, which I'm not doing anything. I'll just loop around there, and she's in. Okay, but actually, this part, the hardest part of the whole thing, was putting that temperature sensor in. Wiring up the rest of it was nothing. I'll bet it didn't take. You can do it in an hour. Hopefully this video will help you. But, alright.